Chapter 7. Baron Beeching's Bag of Secrets. They started looking for clues in the Beeching Manor, but none of them found any. They came to Spike. The manor seems to be empty. In order but it needed to be forgotten badly. Rabbity was looking in a bed in the bedroom they were in, but when she felt her way under it, there was a snap she felt on her hoof. Yipe! What the... The others came to see what the noise was. She took out what got her hoof, a mouse trap. It was obvious that Mrs. Beeching had been wanting to get rid of mice, which she didn't when they started to live in the house. "Rotten wife Baron has," she muttered. "Hey, look," said Pinky. "What's that white object?" There was a piece of paper that was with the mouse trap. Twilight picked it up. It was a photo of Mrs. Beeching. When her life went wrong, she had a good guess that she wanted to not live with her husband. And was it true that Con Beeching ran off to find better life? Of course it is, because any lost family member has to pick friends, not family. It is obvious, girls, that the Beeching family are hiding something else, like their book. "We looked in every room," said Rabbity. "I've looked under the bed and got caught by a small booby trap." Spike was sniffing at something. "Spike, what are you doing? Girls, look what I found under here." He found the book, and there was an out-of-date news story. "Allow me to read it, Twilight. I might take a guess at what happened in this manor." "This a clue." "Just a tool. What does it say?" "It starts at the beginning." Spike started reading at the top page. Life and Lies of Dr. Baron Beeching. In the 40s, this man named Baron was born in the orphanage, and he was doing the work students have to do. But he wanted to visit a proper school. Many people who own the orphanage refuse to tell the world about him because they know his secret. In 1944, he was a teenage boy visiting high school when he went to visit shops to buy himself food. But to be quite truthful, he never got any. When he heard people talking about him, they were wanting to know his secrets he hid. Now 2010, the new year, We finally found his secret. He was a beggar that lived or hid in the orphanage because he wanted to not get found out. We believe his guilt were about chains he scrapped. These tales tell Baron was nothing but a criminal who had a bad life, well, a good one with his wife, but it didn't last long. They broke up and their son ran away. I had a word with Corn Beeching, the lost family member, while trying to because he was not wanting to tell his tale. God and time can tell that people with not much sense are first, and lousy ones that have minds with slackness. A log grew big. I went to my car, but ran into Corn again. I finally got his tale from him, and that's when I began to make my story for the news. And that's when Baron was ill and died of a heart attack, stopping after his wife passed away. Let's get back to Beeching. Now, when in 1941 he was doing hospital work, he didn't have it for long till he was a chairman. He did it because he lost his wife. We believe that Baron then retired when his health was poor condition, and he hid the bag of something in the top room of the manor. I saw him go in the house to do his deed before he fell to the ground. I then took my leave to make the other story of what was in the bag. I can't tell. No human ever saw what was inside. The story ended. Spike and the ponies were in shocked silence. Then Rainbow Dash said, "That clue seems to get on to where we want to go. The bag's in the top room. Spike can find the door to the top room," said Twilight. "Lead the way." "Right-ho." "Let me see. I can sniff it out." Spike began sniffing the scent. The ponies followed. Then he said, "Oh, yuck. Whatever it is, I best hold my breath. It looks like a rotten onion, which is big," said Applejack. "It's coming from that door," said Spike. Suddenly, they heard a scream. Looking up, they saw another soul, but they realized it was Mrs. Lumpurch. "Criminals snooping in my house!" "Okay, lady, you asked for it." He breathed fire at the soul, and she faded. After the light made a scream. "One of these days, if she's alive, I might melt her face." "Why, Spike? Why the anger?" asked Twilight. "Me and the baby ponies were in the orphanage a long while ago, and was secretly learning about her and Mr. Lumpurch, who I called a bonehead. As we left, I played a nasty trick on Mrs. Lumpert. I secretly burned her hand. Then she went running to the kitchen screaming, "Criminals in our house, burning my skin." We left, and that's when it was acting as if wanting to stop nonsense things. Twilight bent her head down on him and gave him a friendly sniff. "I'm sorry about what you did years ago, sweetie." The other partners, like Pinkie Pie, did the same. They're a different way, rubbing their heads on him until they were interrupted. "Can you get on with the task?" said an angry, muffled voice, which was Percy's. "It's getting cramped in here." "Oh, Twilight, what is this in here? We engines don't eat human food." "Oh, I nearly forgot about you, Percy. That was my chocolate bar. I brought it from a chocolate factory. Sorry it melted." "That's all right. Yuck." They went to the door. The smell was getting stronger, and they began to see what was making it. When they opened it, they saw what was making the smell. It was a bottle of wine, a drug drink. Then Spaghetti put it in the bin. He found a cupboard just inside. It was the bag of secrets they were looking for. Now they were ready to see what can be told to them. You read it this time, Twilight, okay? It's not more bad bits, is it?" asked Rarity. "We'll have to find out." End of chapter 7. Chapter 8. The bag taken to the police after what is hidden. Read. Twilight tried to open the bag, but it wouldn't open. There was a lock. Another one of Baron's tricks to stop anyone to get into the bag. She used a horn to make a spell to break the lock. It fell off. She had a look in the bag and took out what was hidden. Money, a map of London and America, a box of 4 first broken teeth, was Baron bullied? It certainly was, because she found papers of him. It's not good, his life, said Twilight. He a little boy bullied in an orphanage. It's no wonder he's upset. Girls, we can't respect Baron, said Spike. He's half himself, whole criminal. We know, Spike, like when you killed the soul of Mrs. Lumpwood. Aha, found it. It was another news story, but before she read it, they looked up. Spike was red as he killed Mrs. Lumpwood's ghost, so... Criminals in my bag! Don't find my secret! Shut up, you good-for-nothing so-called chairman, said Spike, threatening him to back down. Puzzled and scared of Spike's flame, and shocked from another voice. Baron! Nightmare Moon's voice was very sharp. She came into the room, angrily looking at the coward Baron so. How dare you and your wife escape me? Do you ever learn? No, you do not. I won't stand for your escape attempts. Baron so cowardly vanished, floating like stick buds for young hooligans. I'm sorry I dropped him by mistake. He and his wife wanted to remain here. In the overworld. Hello, Nightmare Moon. We found this bag. I was about to read its secrets. Ah, good. I'll take it to the police, but I won't take what you're about to read, Twilight. Another out-of-date paper. Can we take it down? You visited it for the first-class case to solve. Yes, you can. Please excuse me, my students are waiting, the good ones. She left. Twilight read the paper. The true story of Dr. Baron Beeching. Like the first story, we found clear evidence that Baron has lost his life of being bullied, and the orphanage teacher didn't know he escaped to live with his aunt. He can be safe with while he was living with her, He wrote a note to the schools which didn't fit him in, saying, "I'm always in trouble with anything, everything that has turned against me." He had chose one choice, and that was to get married within 6 weeks of his first poor life. He was married years later with a woman, Mrs. Beeching, and their son was born. But on one day, when he tried to make his life good, he sent his son to school on the day he was hired as chairman. Con knew this day wasn't good. His life too was shattered, so he ran away to live in an orphanage till he was old enough to go into hiding. Now the Beeching family has come to a toe. Con remained to keep himself a secret from the world, who never knew his name, because he hadn't told it as the years go by. So that's the secret found, girls. I am shocked with this. It will have to be taken to the police. "Are you done now, girls?" Percy said in Twilight's saddlebag. "Yes, we are, Percy. We'd best get out of here and take this house down." They went outside. Twilight took Percy out of the bag and re-shrunk him to his original size, with chocolate on his face. Twilight just cleaned it off. "Thanks. Now the matter." Twilight said a spell, and the creak sounded. "Time to go." Chuff, 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 chuff. The partners and Spike hopped in Percy's cab, and they steamed out of sight, ignoring the house falling apart. Now they can get to Tasman's Sodor. They arrived in Tasmania and found the Greendale Railway waiting. The baby partners were waiting. Hello again, girls, said Applebloom. Our trip plan worked. Hello, Applebloom, said Twilight. Good to see you again. The fat controller came up. You must be the little ponies. I never thought I'd see you. We've come to live here, sir. Would you accept us? Yes, I know where you can live. Sloping Main Docks. You may start your learning about Australia. Captain Cook shall be waiting for you. I came up as if by magic. Hello, Twilight. Welcome to my home. Hello, sir. We accepted your letter. Thanks. You ponies ought to know that you ought to learn about things that happen in Australia. Your Princess Celeste can get new reports. Twilight and her friends were very pleased. They have done their trip to move to my country. Well, Twilight, that tale is great. Thanks. Now I told you, it helps me feel better. Would you share that history I made in our country? Yeah, she would, and the fat controller can too. I still remember my friends telling me that it's all right to tell me, and you did understand what I told you, that I was a princess all along. You hid your truth word away from me, but now this year you told me you had wings on you all the time. Anyone can't hide a secret for too long. It's part of growing up. I know. Want to date me? Sure thing. You might tell me about your young days when you and your friends met. Sir Percy told Twilight his time. When he first arrived on Sodon, she told him her tale of the good old days in the 90s. It was a long time till I had wings on me, and I was crowned one. Oh, you were lucky. She gave him a kiss, the same one he accepted every time. They then visited the water hole. Her friends were there, and so was Spike. We wanted to talk with you, Twilight, about a memory we remember still, said Spike. And your friends and your friend like me have known you tell Percy you were a princess all along. Yes, Spike, girls. After I felt upset in the stomach of not telling him, but I had to. The fat controller told me he wouldn't send me away because I like living here. And You still do, said Sunshine. What he said me, who Sunshine took me. You have learned about your past. You told me about, and we know you have become helpful to the Dunking Fish Railway. Thank you, sir. A new too can be your series, Australian made, is a success. I best make other episodes. Episode 1's finished. Night came and Person Twilight went to the shed again to have a sleepover. May I have a dust bath in your cab, Percy? Yes, you can. Thanks. The end. No more